Alright, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be taking on Brightman, who, as you might be able to guess from his name, has a stage where the gimmick is total darkness. This darkness is controlled by two different enemies. The first, as a side note, the remix of this on the Mega Man Complete Works, or Anniversary Collection, is really good. But the first is this guy. When you shoot him, fireworks go up and the stage becomes bright. The second guy is that firefly I just shot, and he makes the stage dark, obviously. So, it's really not too bad right now because of the fact that, the platforming is relatively simple right here. But it gets a lot worse during the stage, and in general, it's a bit easier just to keep the stage light, although those fireflies have kind of annoying attacks. So I don't really know why I call them fireflies, it's just kind of, what I always called them. Anyway, grasshoppers. Demonstrating a fact that's crucial to playing any Mega Man game, and that is that spikes are not cuddly. Spikes, as I'm sure you know, are instant death in the Mega Man series, which can kind of stink. Anyway, of course we started out this game with Rush Coil, so, switch to him right away, come up here and get this energy refill. One odd idiosyncrasy about Mega Man games is that if you switch powers while you're on a ladder, you instantly fall off. Another thing that I guess now is as good a time as any to explain is that from here on forward in the Mega Man series, you have two different types of powering up your Mega Buster. One, on the earlier games, by the way, just side note, you can only shoot those guys when they've expanded to full form. But anyway, in the first few Mega Man games, if you're hit while you're charging, you lose that charge, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but later on you can get hit and keep your charge. Here, you can go down here to get an extra life and an E-Tank, which we're going to do. However, it doesn't get you any further in the stage, you actually have to backtrack back to this point. It's very odd in Mega Man games when you have alternate paths that are this long that don't have as much of a payoff. But hey, I'm not complaining about an E-Tank and extra life. Excuse me. These jumps, you can make them without the Rush Coil. Yes, I'm all for animal cruelty, I just want to send Rush down into the pit, ad infinitum. But, okay, stop it. There you go. You can make it, but it's kind of a difficult jump, and since we went all this way partially to get an extra life, it just makes more sense to play it safe. Those red and green platforms will come into play later in the level. Green ones stay on their little rails, the red ones fall off at the end of, I guess, half a cycle there. But this is the halfway point of the level. If you die, you come back here. So you could, in that little area, just go ahead and die and warp back there, but again, it would kind of defeat the purpose. So, as a side note, I'm recording this after getting back from my school, University of Florida's video game club, which is a brilliant idea. It's like a whole bunch of video games on one floor of an academic building with a bunch of projector screens and stuff, and it's really a lot of fun. So I highly suggest you implement something like that at your school or workplace or homeless shelter, wherever you're watching this from. Again, here it's probably best to keep the lights on. Although these platforms would stay illuminated in the dark, the problem is right here. That wouldn't be illuminated and you might have a hard time. Oh, that was cheap. That was embarrassing. And we're back. In the process, I learned two things coming back to this point. Number one, if you do turn off the lights on the way and you just stand still here for a minute, the lights will come back on. And secondly, this platform here actually will stay lit up. The problem is that the rails on which the platforms are, they don't stay lit up. And so it's kind of hard to tell when the platform is about to drop out from under you. Anyway, here we are at the boss, almost, maybe, yes, here we are. Alright, so Brightman is the second in the series of, I guess 3 Mega Man and Robot Masters that like to stop time. He's very hard to deal with on like a no-hit run, because you can't really control his time stopping. So really, he's a lot like Flashman, a little bit harder. His bullets have a little bit more of a distinct pattern to them, but the main issue with him when he freezes time like that isn't actually his shooting, but just his running into you. You would think a light bulb would be a little bit more fragile than that, but whatever. Ow. Fortunately, you have just enough Rain Flush to take care of him. So, that's nice. Also, another thing about Brightman is that his power is a lot easier to control and deal with than Flashman's Time Stopper. A, you don't use it all in one go, and B, you can fire while the time's stopped, which is really handy. So, Flash Stopper is the name of this power, pronounced in an oddly German accent. So, next time, we're going to launch an all-out assault on Disco. So, catch y'all next time.